And now I have told you before it come to pass, that when it is come to pass, you might believe.
Hello friends? I want to read to you regarding a note written on August 9, 1903. This note was written by Ellen White, posted in the Review and Herald, July 5, 1906. This is what she wrote. I have said, as I looked at the great buildings going up there, story after story. What terrible scenes will take place when the Lord shall arise to shake terribly the earth. Then the words of Revelation chapter 18 verse 1-3 will be fulfilled. The whole of the 18th chapter of Revelation is a warning of what is coming on the earth. But I have no light in particular in regard to what is coming on New York. Only I know that one day the great buildings there will be thrown down by the turning and overturning of God's power. From the light given me, I know that destruction is in the world. One word from the Lord, one touch of His mighty power, and these massive structures will fall. Scenes will take place the fearfulness of which we cannot imagine. She also wrote in the Testimonies for the Church, Volume 9, page 12 and 13. On one occasion, when in New York City, I was in the night season called upon to behold buildings rising story after story toward heaven. These buildings were warranted to be fireproof, and they were erected to glorify their owners and builders. Higher and still higher these buildings rose, and in them the most costly material was used. Those to whom these buildings belonged were not asking themselves, how can we best glorify God? The Lord was not in their thoughts. The scene that next passed before me was an alarm of fire. Men looked at the lofty and supposedly fireproof buildings and said, they are perfectly safe. But these buildings were consumed as if made of pitch. The fire engines could do nothing to stay the destruction. The firemen were unable to operate the engines. Okay friends? That's all I wanted to share with you. Remember the words of Christ in John chapter 14 verse 29. He told His disciples of the things that would come to pass, that when they come to pass, His disciples might believe. And to believe in Him is the condition of receiving life everlasting. That is John chapter 3 verse 16. Okay, take care. See you next time. May the grace of God be with you.
We are living in the time of the end. The fast fulfilling signs of the times declare that the coming of Christ is near at hand. The days in which we live are solemn and important. The Spirit of God is gradually but surely being withdrawn from the earth. Plagues and judgments are already falling upon the despisers of the grace of God. The calamities by land and sea, the unsettled state of society, the alarms of war, are portentous. They forecast approaching events of the greatest magnitude. Testimonies for the Church, Volume 9, page 11.